Coming to you from the lovely city of LaGrange, this is Panther Talk, your weekly dose of world news, trivia, and campus updates. I'm Aria, and here with me is Hare.
Thanks, Aria. We have a wonderful show coming up for you, including info and updates on CE events and college happenings here at LaGrange College, as well as an interview with Professor Knoll on the upcoming jukebox musical comedy, The Marvelous Wonderettes.
Oh, The Marvelous Wonderettes.
You know that better than anyone right now.
Yes. Yes, indeed. I am in this show, and we have been working on it for a very long time. So it's going to be great, but I am ready to be done.
Mm-hmm. That's the two-sided coin of a show. You love it and you want to do it, but also you're ready for it to be over.
Yes. I'm ready to have a life again outside of the Wonderettes. Mm-hmm. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah. Enjoy the last month of the semester.
Yeah.
Well, I know everyone who comes is going to love it, so make sure you get tickets for it. Or actually, students come in for free, so Don't get tickets. Just show up, I guess.
Tell all your friends.
Or I guess you can reserve.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Think you
I've
could
always
reserve.
been in the show.
I don't entirely know. We can ask Professor Knoll that when she gets here.
In the interview.
So,
the dates are, when are the dates?
March 29th, 30th, and 31st. And the 29th and 30th are at 7 p.m. And then 2 shows on Friday the 31st at 2 and 6 p.m.
Awesome.
And it's also a CE credit. So
definitely get those.
Rack up on the CE credits.
Well, I think we're going to move into our interview with Professor Knoll.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Professor Knoll.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, do you want to tell all our listeners exactly who you are?
I am Kim Barber Knoll. I am the chair of the Theater Arts Department and the Musical Theater program at LaGrange College. I am from Gleason, Tennessee. I went to Gleason High School. I had 20 people in my senior class, 16 girls and 4 boys.
Wow.
Whoa.
And I have been at LaGrange College for 28 years.
Man.
I started teaching when I was 10.
That's so slay.
And I know you are kind of used to this. You have experience with this, talking on air and everything. You, I believe I've heard you were on a radio show.
I was. In college, I was a communications major. So my first job out of college was as a country music station DJ, which I loved. I was Kim in the Afternoon, 105 FM, WALR, your country connection.
Wow.
So you're a natural at this.
You know, I am, but it was in the days when everything was done by hand. Mm-hmm. So we had to do all of our own commercials on cassette tapes. So that's how long ago it was. But it was fun.
I'm sure.
That's so slay.
All right. Well, upcoming, we have The Marvelous Wonderettes. Can you tell us a little bit something about that?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know where to start. First of all, it has been one of the funnest, for lack of a better word, productions I think I've worked on, we as a collaborative department have worked on. It is nostalgic. The writer, Roger Bean, did an incredible job of weaving together all these wonderful tunes from the 50s and 60s into a story about 4 women singers who are at their prom in 1958 to be the entertainment, but it's incredible standards. And Aria is also in this production. In the first act, there are wonderful songs such as Sandman, Stupid Cupid, Sincerely. And then in the second act, we've moved ahead 10 years, so it's their 1968 10-year reunion. And the women have learned a lot. They have grown, they've suffered loss, but they are still together as friends, and it is a rock act. Heat Wave, It's My Party, Son of a Preacher Man, Leader of the Pack. So it really does rock the second act. But what's the challenge, I think, for the women is the stamina. There are 25 songs, and the women are on stage all the time. So they never leave stage. Yeah. It will be quite an accomplishment, and we're really excited about it.
That's one thing I've noticed is, I've seen big musicals before, but with only 4 cast members that don't leave the stage, it's incredibly impressive. I've been doing the sound and working on the sound and loving that and listening. And one thing is a lot of people our age probably think they don't know that many songs from the 50s and 60s, but I've been able to, you recognize more than you think you know just by listening to it. So definitely people will recognize more than they think. Students here will definitely recognize more than they think they know.
Well, and I think too, I listen to Soul Town on Sirius in my car, and so many of these tunes, Aretha Franklin, the Shondells, all of this music. I think, yes, there is a certain generation that we hope will see the show that know it, but I also think there have been remakes. So
Yes,
students will
absolutely.
think, oh my gosh, this song, wow, I didn't realize that it was it was a 50s song or a 60s
Yeah.
song, so many people have, cut them again.
Yeah, and a lot of these songs are also on TikTok all the time. So like Mr. Sandman, like the bums in the very beginning are in my brain constantly, and I just see a lot of TikToks with that sound.
Yeah, and Heat Wave. Linda Ronstadt did a recording of
Yes.
Heat Wave, but she didn't do it originally. And it was a lot of girl bands, but also guy bands sang a lot of this music. And we've had fun. The other thing about the show, it's not just probably 2.5 hours long. It's not just that the women are on stage the entire time. For musical theater performers or any kind of theater performers, it is everything. It is choreographed within an inch of its life with all that wonderful backup choreography. It's incredible music, but it's also wonderful characters who remain friends through thick and thin. They start as seniors in high school, and then they gather again, as 28-year-olds, and that's the one sort of spark they still have maintained no matter what they've been through. So I think the message is also timely.
One thing just me personally is because I've worked with, you've been my director and teacher and professor multiple times the past 3 years, but since this is a big musical, but I've also been under straight plays and things like that. What's the big difference between directing and kind of shaping
Such a
a
good
straight play
question.
as opposed to a musical?
So the thing about a straight play is it's all about the text. So the story and the work and the rehearsals are dealing with just text. In a musical, you layer in music and songs, and in theory, you do that because the emotions are so strong, you have to sing. Even though the music, the songs are like monologues. And if they have repetitive phrases, it's because saying or singing something once is not enough. The difference for me, certainly with this musical, is the prep time going in is completely different and much more time-consuming because it's most efficient and it works best to have everything choreographed. And Aria knows Aria is the most incredible dance captain for this production as well. So to have all of the choreography done before the performers come in is the way we work so that we can manage our time. And we're not choreographing on our feet and trying to figure things out. All of that has to be decided. So that takes an enormous amount of hours. Plus, learning this music.
Oh.
Dr. Tony Anderson, our amazing musical director, started musical rehearsals with the women the first week of January. And we've literally been rehearsing this since January because it's some of the most difficult and tightest harmonies
Yes.
on the planet.
Very crunchy, like stacked right on top of each other. So it's been difficult, but once we get it, it's like it sounds so good.
It's glorious. But that is also a difference because to try and choreograph a song that the women haven't quite learned, or if they're singing the wrong notes, they want to learn the music first and then be able to put the music and the acting with the moves. So it just takes a lot longer. And there's so many iterations of this musical, which I didn't even realize. There's a one-act version. There's a Christmas version. And I think that speaks to it's timeless. And no matter people's ages, I think they are ready for an uplifting, sometimes squeaky clean, sometimes heartbreaking musical. But I think it's a feel-good show, too.
Yeah.
I think you come out humming the tunes. You're kind of dancing in the aisles. But to your question, it's just an enormous amount of prep time. And straight plays, we are working on the text, but we do that work in the space.
Yeah.
So we stage them, but it's not acting, singing, and dancing all at once. So that's the big difference, I think.
Well, one thing I would like to say, do you have anything to say for anyone who may not be a theater major or minor, for who may have interest in actually want to participate in future productions?
Yes, as long as I have been at LaGrange College, and I think I told you, 28 years, we have enjoyed and relied upon actors and singers who are students at this college who are not majors, because having non-majors and having our minors work with us makes us better actors. It makes us better theater folks because it's more of a collaboration. And we welcome singers, actors, folks who want to work backstage. There is always something to do. And I think we've done, even in our most recent sort of big collaborative project, A Few Good Men, we had faculty, we had students, we had alumni, we had people, community people. And I just think the more collaboration you can create and work on, the more collaborative that it is, the more people you reach. So I encourage students. Our auditions, we try to announce our auditions. We give folks something to read. We have them read scenes with us. There's always an opportunity. And if rehearsals, which are not always every night, it depends on the show, are too time-consuming, and we have so many athletes also participate in our acting classes, movement, drama survey, musical theater, dance. We just encourage students to pay attention when the schedules come out. There is always something to do in the performing arts, and we would welcome their participation.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to move on to trivia now.
Heck yeah.
I'm so nervous about trivia.
All our guests kind of say the same thing. They're always so
Literally,
nervous.
I think every single one that we have had has been the most nervous for the trivia. Not even the conversation, the trivia.
Okay, it's because it's what we don't know that can get us.
Okay, so we have a little bit of theater-themed trivia for you because, you know, you are the chair of the theater arts department and all that.
No pressure.
So, yeah, I'm basically just going to give you a question. You guess. You'll probably get it right, hopefully. You've got this. I believe in you. And I'll tell you if you're right or not. Okay. So, here's your first question.
Okay.
In which Broadway musical does Jack sing "There Are Giants in the Sky"?
Oh, Into the Woods.
Yes. See? No need to be nervous.
Still nervous.
Okay, next question. Which musical features the song "If I Were a Rich Man"?
Fiddler on the Roof.
See? She's a pro. She's a pro. Okay. Next question. Which Broadway star has won 6 Tony Awards, which is more performance wins than any other actor and makes them the sole person to win all 4 acting categories?
Can I get a hint? Is the person known primarily as a musical theater performer or as a film person?
Musical theater.
It's not Audra McDonald.
It is!
Oh my gosh, I can't believe
It's
I got
Audra
it right.
McDonald.
It's Audra McDonald.
That's my queen. I stan Audra McDonald. Okay, you ready for the next question?
I am so ready.
What is the name of Annie's dog in the musical Annie? I wish that somebody could see that reaction because that was too funny.
Is Annie's dog, it's not Lucky.
No.
It's not, I'm thinking all the dog names I can remember. It's not Fido. It's not Spot. It's not Harry. What is Annie's dog's name?
Sandy.
Oh, yes, Sandy. Duh. Sandy. That's right, Sandy.
That's okay. Shake it off.
Okay, shaking it off.
You got it. You got one more question.
Okay.
What was Disney's first Broadway musical? Now, this one I didn't know.
You know, that's such a good question. And may I ask? I need a hint. So, was it an old school Disney story or is it a more modern Disney story? Was it old school?
Old school. Maybe?
It's one of their, in the last 40, 30 years, one of their animated movies.
Yeah.
It's not.
Came out in the 90s.
It's. Well, the only old Disneys I can think of, and I don't think it's this, it's not Cinderella.
No.
And it's not, if it's on Broadway, it's Disney on Broadway. Yeah, it's not, because it's not, I don't know. What is it?
It's Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Wow, that was the first one? I had no idea. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because Cinderella was Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Oh, yeah, duh.
It was totally different from the Disney.
The Disney Cinderella. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Belle, of course.
Yeah.
That was good trivia.
Good job, Trip.
Thank you, Trip, for those questions.
Yeah.
All right, that about wraps up our interview with Professor Knoll.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Do a
I'm
little
excited.
dancey
Oh,
dance.
and listen, all of you folks out there, know that it's free for LaGrange College students, staff, and faculty. And it's just going to send everybody into spring break, I think, feeling so good. It's completely uplifting. So I hope folks will come.
Yeah.
I agree.
Great words of advice.
All right. Thank you, Professor Knoll.
Thank you, Professor
Thank you,
Knoll.
guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. What an awesome interview.
Yeah. So now I'm going to move into the college tip of the week.
You're really good at these.
I'm getting it. So this week's college tip is the 24. We all know and love the 24.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great place to study, grab a coffee, refresher, something from the Starbies, and get some work done.
Starbies.
I'd be grinding in the 24. I got my caramel macchiato or my vanilla bean frappuccino because I'm an actual child and I'm grinding the workout.
I get a white chocolate mocha every single time.
That's what we like to hear.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move into some CE events and different things happening on campus. We got the 3D Journeys lecture on Monday, March 27th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Callaway Auditorium. The Easter Basket Build, Tuesday, March 28th, 11:15 to 12:15 at Dixon Assembly Room. You got screening of Smithsonian Secrets, Crucifixion Mystery, Tuesday, March 28th, 11:15 to 12:15 at Corn Auditorium. The Marvelous Wonderettes, Wednesday, March 29th, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Price Theater. That's the opening night.
Yes.
And then we also got Yoga on the Hill, Thursday, March 30th, 11:30 to 12:30 at the Jones Zone.
Now I will be going to that yoga on that Thursday.
You will.
I will. We will see. I'm going to make an effort because Lord knows I'm going to need it.
Opening night is always a...
Opening night's going to be a...
Wait, no, opening on Wednesday?
Yes. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday because then our spring break starts that Saturday. So,
Right. So this will be after opening night.
yeah, the day after opening night.
There will be a certain weight off your shoulders at that point.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I'm freaking out a little bit.
Alrighty, well that just about does it for this week.
Yeah, so we're closing out our show. So Panther Talk is written by Floyd, produced by Erika Hill and Kelton Hunt, audio engineering by Stevie Nicks, audio editing by KeOnthany Sills, audio mixing and mastering by Eddie Montgomery, graphic designs are by Emily Childs, and music by Jacob Broom. And a big, huge, amazing thank you to Professor Knoll for joining us today. You will get that reference if you come see the show. And that is our show, Panther Talk. Thank you all so much for listening.
Goodbye for now, and have a good one, Panthers.
Bye, y'all.